Hi guys, I'm Brooke Williamson. I've partnered with Morton Salt to bring you one of my favorite holiday recipes. Today we're gonna make a braised lamb ragout with burrata cheese and homemade crackers. So let's get started. So step one, we're gonna season our lamb. I have a pan heating over a medium flame. I'm gonna add a little bit of vegetable oil. You can see the pan is already smoking, so what I'm gonna go ahead and do is season the lamb. I'm gonna season it with the Morton Kosher Salt. The reason why I'm using kosher salt is because I can feel it in my hands. It's not intensely salty, and I know I'm not gonna over-season the lamb. A little bit of coarse ground pepper. Give that a toss. I wanna make sure that all of the lamb is seasoned before plopping it into that pan. It's gonna be hot, so be careful. All right, we've got a good brown on these lamb pieces. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is add our spices. I've got cumin, I've got coriander, I've got fresh thyme, and I've got minced garlic. Throw that all in there. Give that a nice little toss. All right, starting to get a little bit dry, so I'm gonna add my onions. And then once you're at that point where it looks like you could start burning any minute, we're gonna deglaze the pan with a little bit of red wine. So we're gonna cook all of the alcohol out of this wine, basically. It's just gonna add a little bit of flavor. So I'm gonna add some light brown sugar. I'm gonna add some crushed tomatoes here. All right. Add those tomatoes in. And then just to cover the lamb, I'm gonna add some chicken stock. I'm gonna lower the heat to a medium-low and just keep it at a simmer. We're gonna go ahead and start on the crackers next. I've got two different types of flour. So I'm gonna start with the whole wheat flour, add some all-purpose flour. I'm gonna add a little bit of sugar, it's just regular granulated sugar. And then for these crackers, I use the Morton fine sea salt. So in the cracker itself, I don't necessarily need the texture of the salt, which is why I use it for a lot of the baking that I do when I don't want the texture of salt, but I still want the flavor. Pull out my whisk here, and I've got some extra virgin olive oil. I'm using extra virgin olive oil because I actually want to taste the olive oil. And then I've got just some regular tap water, and mix that all together, and it's gonna form a dough. All right, so I'm gonna pat that out. All right, we'll just roll that into little balls like that. And put a little bit of flour on my surface here. Take a rolling pin. Doesn't have to be perfect. And that's it. On the sheet, get a couple of these rolled out. All right. So, I'm just gonna lay these out on this parchment paper. And then the best part to me is the topping. What I've chosen to put on these crackers is kind of like an everything bagel topping. I've got some poppy seeds, I've got some sesame seeds, and I'm gonna mix these all together in a little bowl here. Get them all nice and evenly mixed. I'm gonna add a little bit of extra seasoning. I'm gonna add some fresh ground black pepper, and then I'm gonna add the Morton Coarse sea salt. The reason why I'm using the coarse salt here is because I really wanna get that crunch and texture of the salt. So I've got some extra virgin olive oil here. I'm gonna go really liberal on this topping because I think that the seasonings are what really makes the cracker. All right, and these are gonna go straight into the oven until they're nice and brown and crunchy crispy. All right, these crackers are nice golden brown. So I'm gonna go ahead and check my lamb ragout here. It should be close to done. And then just as a final touch, I'm gonna add some cherry tomatoes. And then we're almost ready to go. I'm just gonna work on my garnish now. So what I have to garnish this plate is celery tops. So I'm just gonna season those celery leaves, and I'm just gonna squeeze this lemon through my fingers just in case there are any leftover little seeds in there. For the seasoning on these celery leaves, I'm gonna go ahead and use the Morton Coarse sea salt again. And we're pretty much ready to go here. I'm gonna go ahead and start with my base ingredient. So I've got some burrata cheese here. Now, if you've perfectly timed this, your stew is ready to go, and we can just go ahead and build around this cheese. And, you know, I like to leave a little bit of that cheese peeking out because that cheese is so beautiful. All right. And then, of course, don't forget your crackers. And that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and try it. It's so good, and it's so perfect for the holidays. I hope you go ahead and try this recipe out because it's one that shouldn't be missed.